Hey guys, how's it going? Raven here. This video, because just to keep it blunt, I'm gonna be basically showcasing me trying to fix up my Treflips. As time went by, I began to focus on other tricks. As you've seen, my series, Old Tricks, New Ways. I was in school, I was spending less time on my board, really trying to figure out work, life, and just basically just stuff in general, work-life balance, you know what I mean. And as time went by, I kind of lost it for a bit, not only because I was spending time doing other tricks and I wasn't practicing it as much, but also because I was developing some bad habits when doing it, and it kind of began to take its toll. It wasn't horribly difficult to get it back. I knew that it was always still there, but there were certain things that I was doing and trying to grasp it and understand it that was very, very difficult. But I think as time went by, my body began to understand it. Not my brain, but my body did, if you know what I mean. But I'll stop talking. I'll let the footage and my voiceover just speak for itself. Hope you guys enjoy. I had my microphone on. I was supposed to be mic'd up for this session, but for some reason the audio just wasn't working. I thought it was working fine, but I wasn't checking it that much when I was going throughout the whole entire session. So unfortunately, you won't be able to hear anything that I'm saying, and thus why I'm doing a voiceover. But the bright side, the audio from this video doesn't sound distorted or crappy, so that's a win. I'll take that at least. But enough of all the jibber jabber. Here we are trying Treflips. Honestly, the rotation of the board going 360 is fine. Trying to get the board to flip the tray flip is like the hardest part. And the hardest part was that I didn't know what I was doing wrong. I looked up so many tips, and you see me doing this little freaking scissor kick where I'm shoving my foot back but also sweeping it out behind my other foot and then kind of just kicking my foot out. And I know that motion, but for some reason when I do that, the board is just not flipping all the way and I always catch it upside down. I was still trying to grasp that, and it was kind of difficult. It was also frustrating too because I kept doing the same thing, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing wrong, which is one of the things I don't like about skateboarding a lot. In these shots up here, I was trying to focus on practicing it stationary. To be honest, I feel like it would have been easier maybe trying to do it while moving, but the fact that I already tried that and it didn't really work, I was really just trying anything. My friend Elvis always mentions this word tinker, where it's like you kind of try to really just experiment with certain things and really just try different methods to see just which one works. When I tried it stationary, I actually had a little bit of more luck. I felt like I was getting closer to getting the board to rotate all the way, but even then I was still struggling a lot and it was confusing me. And there's a lot of different things I tried doing. I saw some tips online where it was talking about trying to put more weight onto your back foot. There's other times where it's saying, you know, maybe to jump higher to get it to rotate more, which sometimes is the case. I'm a friend who told me that and it actually worked. And another habit that I have sometimes is my front foot making contact with the board. I have no idea how the hell I developed that habit. I don't even remember when I did, to be honest, but probably sometime maybe after summer. And yeah, it was kind of weird, but at least here, my foot wasn't getting caught up the whole entire time.
Oh, it rotated. It rotated. We're back in the game.
I remember when I was trying to go for that last one, I was like, really just go for it and just give it everything that you have. And I don't know what the hell it was. Maybe it was a confidence thing. Maybe it was a mentality thing. Maybe when I actually tried to adjust my mindset a little bit, maybe my brain was able to actually shift itself somehow cognitively, and I was able to figure out how to get this thing to rotate. It's kind of confusing with this trick too, because then it's like, I did a little jig right there, I was hyped. But trying to go for this trick, I was really trying to understand the pressure. I was trying to understand how to really get the scoop, how to really get my front foot out of the way and really just balance out doing both. And for somehow, some way, I think when I tried to become more confident and when I really tried to go for it with the intention of actually landing it, somehow something just clicked. Maybe when I was maybe the way when I was catching it before was kind of hesitating, so maybe I was half-assing it to an extent, I guess. Though there were times in the past where I actually did went for it, or I did go for it and it didn't work. To put it short, I have no idea what the hell really happened to make this work. I'm glad that it did, but I hope that by looking through this footage now and later in the future, I'll be able to understand it. I remember this one person, I think it was, what was his name, Salvation Skateboards, I think. This was like 4 or 5 years ago when I was battling some stair set. He was saying how skateboarding really is mental but also physical. I think once I realized that I could actually do it and that it was still there, I just went full freaking throttle and I landed it. And I was really happy I did, but like usual, if you know me and if you know some of us skateboarders, we're not just gonna take one and just leave. That's bull crap. Well, sometimes. Sometimes you take the one and you just leave, but this is different. I'm gonna try to go for at least 2 more, because that was the goal. At least 2 to 3. I don't know what it was, but for some reason as time went by, I felt like I was kind of losing the tray flip for a bit. You guys probably didn't see it from those last few clips, but as time went by, I was kind of getting frustrated. This reminded me of the time when I was like 18 or 19 and I was trying to like do hard flips. I haven't done that trick in a while, by the way, but that's for a different video. For some reason, I felt like I was getting farther and farther away from it. I really didn't want to spend another freaking like 20 to 30 minutes trying to just get one more tray flip. Like if I got that one so good, and if it's all there, then why the hell am I flopping it in some of the stupidest ways possible? But, I mean, at the end of the day, we're human. We're bound to make mistakes, so there's nothing I can really do about that. All I could do is just keep falling and just keep getting back up. And I'm gonna do a little time lapse here because I think this is very important. There's a good amount of video that I have where I literally spent a solid 20 to 25 minutes trying to get this and didn't even land one. But I guess maybe I won't put all this here because it might get kind of dragged out and boring. But just to show that, hey, you know, skateboarding's not for the weak. This is a pain in my ass sometimes. Right around here is where I really began to get the rotation back. Maybe I sat down and took a break for a bit, maybe I still kept going and maybe kind of just forced my way to get it back. I don't really quite remember. But I got another one and that was really great. You know, I'm glad that I decided to take the time and the hours to put in the work to really try to get this trick back a little bit. And I say kind of get it back because in a way, it was always still there. As time goes by, we're human. We forget things sometimes. Taking the time to come back to this can be frustrating, but at the exact same time, it can be very just informative, you know? It's still there. The fact that I got so close at the beginning means that I practically had it all along. I just need to spend a little bit more time practicing to figure out what I was missing. I had a session yesterday where I was really trying to focus on my tray flips, and it's safe to say that I got it a little bit better. I was still fumbling it, still not catching it properly, feet still a little bit too close together, some stuff like that. But as time goes by, as I keep practicing, eventually I'll have it dialed, and it would be nice to throw it in some lines. I don't think I've ever thrown a tray flip into a line before. There are probably some times in the past where I tried, but I don't know what it is with me in lines. Sometimes it's just a skill issue. Other times when it comes to filming lines, I just can't skate for shit, which is why sometimes I don't like doing them. I don't know if I ever want to film a new video part anytime soon. I had one maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, but just trying to get lines and go out and get clips. Sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's just very exhausting. But if I ever get tray flips down super duper good, I might throw it into a line for an edit or something. Maybe something like that. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you guys later. Peace.